Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the ATL Show. Peter Maracto alongside Dave Bidmeade.
G'day, Pete. Like my new shirt?
Yep, you look like a barcode. This edition of the ATL Show, we're focusing on the South Australian Conference. The South Australian Conference of the ATL is one of the most closely fought from the series across the country, except on the women's side. The Flagstaff Raiders have dominated, not dropping a match. They take on the Golden Grove Lions in the final. On the men's side though, Dave, things are a little closer.
They are, Pete. Glenleigh Gators finishing on top there, headed by Luke Saville, Thanasi Kokonakis, Todd Lay and Jack Shapansky, plus Lachlan Ferguson, the double specialist. They finished on top. Very strong season from them, but just closely followed by the Drive, headed by Colin Ebblefight.
We had the opportunity to catch up with Colin after his round 4 match.
Yeah, well, I only got back from overseas on Friday, so I hope, like I said, the first time I played this season. But obviously, we're trying to make the final two, and I think we won tonight 5-1, so we might have a bit of an outside chance to try and hopefully do that.
Let's take a closer look at the Flagstaff Raiders women's side that is dominating in the South Australian Women's Conference, Dave. They have a star-studded lineup.
They do, Pete. One of the best teams across the country, no doubt, with Karolina Walarczyk, Brooke Richbeth, Olivia Lakaskowicz, Victoria Rajicic, and also headed by their number one, Bojana Babusic.
Yeah, ranked in the early 300s, got some main draw action at the Australian Open earlier this year, but has been dominating in this competition.
She has only dropped 14 games across all her matches, and that's incredible, and not losing a set as well.
We had the opportunity to catch up with Bojana straight after her round 4 match.
Yeah, the goal when I first got asked to play was, really want to have a crack at obviously winning here and then in Melbourne during the Aussie Open. And we actually got Victoria Rajicic from Melbourne to come play with us. So she played tonight, flew from Melbourne, flew back tonight, and so we're going to obviously get her to qualify for the finals next week and then Melbourne. So now having a good crack at Aussie Open, and we've got a pretty good team depth-wise, and it'll be really good.
Time now to take a look at the ladders
Pete,
on the
Pete,
ATL.
aren't you forgetting something?
No, the run sheet says we're going to the ladders.
It's a segment that all the fans know and love.
The ladders?
No. This week, Pete, we go to New South Wales ACT Conference in a match between Alan Bello-Bradgick and Adam Feeney. Now, Alan Bello-Bradgick was a set-up against Feeney and 4-all in the second set tiebreak. So match point or set point, sudden death point, of course, Pete. Went for a shot up the line, it missed by an inch. Now, Feeney won this set, goes on to win the match over Bello-Bradgick 4-2 in the third set. But that's how close this ATL competition is, just a matter of inches, Pete.
Absolutely. Is that all?
That's it.
Time now to get the show back on track and take a look at the ladders. And first off, we start with the SA Conference, and the finalists have been decided with the Glenleigh Gators on top from the Drive, the Broadview Tigers missing out on percentage. On the women's side, the Flagstaff Raiders well on top. They'll face the Lions in the final, the Goodwood Saints 2 points behind.
In the WA Conference, in the men's side of things, the undefeated Giants take on the Western Sharks, and in the women's side, the Giants take on the Ballbursters in the final.
Final spots are still up for grabs in the Victorian Conference with a couple of rounds to play. On the men's side, the Liston Seagulls are on top from the Dingley Dingoes and the Kooyong Classics, Waverley not too far behind. On the women's side, the Frankston Firebirds are out on top from the Kooyong Classics and then the MCC Demons.
To the Queensland Conference, in the men's side of things, the Tennis Brisbane Chargers head at the top of the ladder, followed by the Tornadoes of the Beenleigh Blaze, just missing out on a final spot. On the women's side, the finalists have been decided with the Shore Park Sharks taking on the Beenleigh Blaze, with the Tigers just missing out on a final spot.
And the finalists have been decided in the New South Wales ACT Conference. On the men's side, ATP Sydney will take on Canberra Velocity, while on the women's side, Canberra Velocity will face the Asia Pacific Tennis Institute Steelers, with the Avengers coming in third spot. That just about wraps it up for this edition of the ATL Show. To keep in touch with everything that's happening, including the results and the latest news, check out the website tennis.com.au/competitions. You can also check us out on Facebook and on Twitter using the hashtag ATL Show. Next edition of the show, we will be featuring the Victorian Conference, so plenty to look forward to there.
Don't forget Bidmeade's Highlight of the Week as well, Pete.
And Bidmeade's Highlight of the Week. We'll catch you next time.